Sweden and Finland's bid to join NATO has stalled as Turkey continues to block the two countries from joining the military alliance. It's been 9 months.
Three-letter word, war. It's a big deal when it comes to how Russia describes its invasion of Ukraine. The Kremlin has insisted on calling it a...
Sweden just shocked Russia with a warning to Putin. The ongoing war between Ukraine and Russia has radically changed the security needs and elements in Eastern Europe, and as a result, for a long time, neutral Finland and Sweden had to take drastic measures in the face of Russia's aggression. NATO membership. This situation led the two countries to become members of NATO. Despite Finland joining the alliance, Sweden is still pending. With Finland's NATO membership last week, tensions rose in the Baltic and Nordic regions. In the face of this move, the Russian army immediately carried out a comprehensive navy drill in the Baltic. With Finland's acceptance of NATO membership, Russia's northwest flank became a NATO border. This will increase even more when Sweden joins the alliance. Fearing this possibility, Russia hardened its style even more. Sweden's Russian ambassador, Viktor Tatarinsev, made statements on the embassy's website. Viktor Tatarinsev noted that joining NATO makes the Scandinavian countries a legitimate target for Russian retaliatory measures, including military ones. In addition, the Russian embassy accused Sweden of becoming an American colony and criticized the country's support for Ukraine. Russia's response. The threats of the Russian ambassador almost bumped into Sweden's harsh warnings. The Swedish Ministry of Foreign Affairs is summoning the Russian ambassador to protest the blatant attempt to interfere. At the same time, the tension was taken to the next level when the Russian ambassador in Sweden announced that the Scandinavian countries had now become Russia's legitimate targets. A critical response from Sweden to this move of Russia came without delay. The reckless statements of Russia lost their effect with the warnings of Sweden. Swedish Foreign Minister Tobias Billström reported that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will summon the Russian ambassador to make a clear statement against this obvious attempt to influence. Sweden's support for Ukraine. Since the beginning of the war, Sweden has provided critical military aid to Ukraine. It provided long-range anti-tank missiles, RBS, 15 coastal defense systems, long-range Archer howitzers, light tanks, millions of military ammunition, and equipment to the Ukrainian army. Sweden's decision to send military aid. In January, the Swedish administration announced its huge military aid that will create an event on the world agenda. This striking news has been one of the most effective steps to be taken for Ukraine at the moment. Sweden has approved the delivery of Archer 155mm self-propelled howitzers to Ukraine. Sweden's aid to Ukraine is enough to anger the Russian leader. Russia has announced that it will make military reinforcements near Sweden and Finland, both in response to this act of cooperation between Sweden and Ukraine, and against the risk of Sweden joining NATO. Sweden's military aid to Ukraine was heavily criticized by Russia, and this was taken as a direct threat to Russia's security. According to Swedish Foreign Minister Tobias Billström, Ukraine should acquire as many assault weapons as possible to attack Russian troops, and Sweden should do its part. However, in line with the statement, the Swedish government did not share with the media the exact number of Archer self-propelled guns transferred to Ukraine. Sweden's plan to send armored vehicles and anti-tank missiles. According to the same reports, it's estimated that 18 self-propelled artillery mounts of this type will be delivered to Ukraine in the first shipment. When used with several self-propelled gun crews, these artillery installations can offer a highly effective offensive potential of up to 12 155mm caliber shells due to their high rate of fire. Speaking at a press conference, the Prime Minister stated that his government has argued on a three-part military support package for Ukraine, including the first decision to start the delivery of artillery system Archer to Ukraine. In conclusion, tensions between Russia and Sweden have been on the rise, with Russia threatening Sweden with appropriate military technical measures if it tries to join NATO. However, Sweden is determined to make its own decisions on its security policy, and it will not let any country interfere with it. Sweden's support for Ukraine has also increased tensions. as it continues to provide military aid to Ukraine. We hope that the situation between Sweden and Russia will de-escalate and that both countries can find a peaceful resolution to their differences. What do you think will be the outcome of Sweden's decision to provide military aid to Ukraine and the increased tensions with Russia? Do you think Sweden should join NATO, despite the potential risks and threats from Russia, or maintain its neutral status? Why or why not? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on the notification bell to stay up to date with our latest videos. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on any new content that we produce. Lastly, if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. Your likes help our video to rank higher in the YouTube algorithm, which means that more people will be able to find and benefit from our content. Thank you again for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the comments section and the future videos.